Welcome back to Only Talk Sports. So we talk sports every single day, or at least we try to. I'm yours, Jeffrey. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. Now, the national championship game is tonight, and I'm going to go over who I think is going to win the national championship in 2023, the San Diego State Aztecs or the UConn Huskies. Now, this game has a lot of intrigue. A lot of people are looking forward to the national championship game, and it should be a lot of fun. But looking at this matchup, a lot of people think UConn is the runaway to win this thing. But San Diego State, they're a great basketball team, and you look at their record, they're 32-6, 15-3 in the Mountain West this season. And Brian Dutcher, he's done a great job continuing to have the Aztecs at the top of college basketball, at least in the Mountain West particularly, continuing what Steve Fisher's done. But now Brian Dutcher's taking San Diego State to new heights that Steve Fisher couldn't even reach, having the Aztecs in their first Final Four ever, and now San Diego State is in the national championship game after winning on a buzzer-beating shot over Florida Atlantic 72-71. That was an incredible finish, getting that shot at the end. Lamont Butler, he had a big shot in the corner to get the win, and now San Diego State has the opportunity to be the first non-Power 5 national champion in basketball since UNLV won it all in 1990 with Jerry Tarkanian at head coach. That would be huge for college basketball and San Diego State if they could get the job done. And looking at San Diego State's basketball team, I think they have a really good chance to win it all over UConn because of the fact that they have a lot of depth that can match up with UConn. Matt Bradley, he's been really coming around the last couple of games. He really struggled in the beginning of this tournament, but he's averaging 13 points per game this season, and he's been playing solid basketball down the stretch. He's been getting better and better as the tournament's gone along. Had a big game against Florida Atlantic, hit some big shots, and he's got a whole plethora of teammates that can get a lot of points as well. Darian Trammell, he's averaging 10 points per game. He's been huge this tournament. He's had several 20-point games. He's been playing fantastic for Brian Dutcher. Lamont Butler obviously hit the big shot to win it against Florida Atlantic in the Final Four, the buzzer beater. He's averaging 9 points per game. And you look at the rest of the rotation, again, San Diego State has a lot of players that can get a lot of points. Nathan Mensah is a fantastic post player. He's going to have to go up against Adama Sanogo and Donovan Klingman of UConn. That will be an issue for Nathan Mensah because he is a bit undersized for both those players, but he is a really solid defensive player, and he can knock down a few buckets in a game as well. Keyshawn Johnson, Jaden Ledee, Micah Parrish, all good rotational players for San Diego State. And Adam Seiko and Agwook Arope, he's a great player as well. I think overall, looking at San Diego State's roster, they have enough pieces to get the job done, but they're going to have to play a stellar game, an almost flawless game if they want to get this win because UConn is such a deep team and they have a lot of talent. But I think San Diego State does have the perfect blend of offense, averaging around 72 points per game, and they only give up 63 points per game on the defensive end. Overall, the Aztecs have the team capable of winning it all, and they definitely belong in the national championship game because they've been fantastic all tournament, and specifically in that win over Alabama, shutting down a star player in Brandon Miller. And if they can do that against UConn, they will have a great chance to win. But looking at the Huskies, Dan Hurley, he has a squad that's 30-8 and 13-7 in the Big East this season. Yes, they had a rough patch back in the beginning of Big East play, but they've been playing much better basketball down the stretch of the season, and they have been unstoppable this tournament. They've won every game by at least 13 points, and they could have beat Miami by more, but they took their foot off the gas. They beat the Hurricanes by 13 points in the Final Four. What a performance from UConn. They were knocking down their threes. They had dominant post play. They were great on the defensive end, and they did a fantastic job overall in that game. And UConn, they've been fantastic all tournament, winning all their games by even more than the 13 that they did against Miami. They beat St. Mary's by 15. They floored Arkansas, and they blew out Gonzaga in the Elite Eight. They've just had a great tournament, one of those dominant tournaments of all time. And a lot of people were comparing UConn to the 1981 Indiana team that started out slow in the middle of Big Ten play, but then they turned it around and then went all the way through March Madness and dominated, and Bob Knight's team won it all in 1981. And UConn has a great chance to do that this year. This will be their 5th national championship if they can get it done. They've won 4 titles since 1999, all because of Jim Calhoun. They did win in 2014 when Kevin Ollie was having to fill in for Jim Calhoun when he was having some illness problems, and that's why he had to stop being the head coach of UConn. But UConn is a program built on Jim Calhoun's foundation, and now Dan Hurley has brought the UConn Huskies back. They look like they're re-entering the blue blood status the way they're playing basketball right now, and UConn, their depth is going to be an issue for San Diego State. Adama Sanogo averages 17 points per game. He hit 2 big threes against Miami. He's starting to knock down threes. He's just a dominant post player overall, a great defensive player, and he's going to put a lot of pressure on Agwook Arope and Nathan Mensah and the other centers and post players that San Diego State has has. It's going to be really interesting to see how they're going to be able to slow down Adama Sanogo. And when he's on the bench, Donovan Kleeman can come right in and average 7 points per game in the limited minutes he plays. And he's 7'2". He's a matchup nightmare for almost anybody in college basketball. And he's getting better and better. And if Adama Sanogo does leave UConn after the season, then Donovan Kleeman should be a really good player for the Huskies next year. But you also have other players for UConn. Jordan Hawkins averaging 16 points per game. He could be a first-round draft pick as well. He's been stepping up his play as the season's gone along, and definitely during this dominant run in the NCAA tournament. Tristan Newton, the ECU transfer, is averaging 10 points per game. He had a great stat line against Miami. He had around 10 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. If Tristan Newton has that type of game against San Diego State, then the Huskies will have a great chance to win because of the fact that Tristan Newton can set up his teammates so well and get a bucket on his own. Alex Karaban's averaging around 10 points per game. He's a deadly shooter for the Huskies. He can knock down a three from anywhere on the court, and he's been improving as the season's gone along. He could be a breakout player for the Huskies next year. Andre Jackson's averaging 7 points per game, and Joey Calcaterra, Naheem Aline, the Virginia Tech transfer, and Hassan Jara, the Texas A&M transfer, all solid rotational players for UConn. As much depth as San Diego State has, UConn probably has even more depth, and all their players have done a great job this NCAA tournament for the Huskies, and that is why they have been dominant this postseason. And on offense, UConn's averaging 78.8 points per game, and on defense, they're giving up 64.4 points per game. Overall, UConn is a great defensive team. They're almost just as good as San Diego State on that side of the ball, and you can almost argue that they're better considering UConn played in a Power 6 conference unlike San Diego State, even though the Mountain West was tough this year. And Brian Dutcher does not like to call San Diego State a mid-major. I think that they definitely should be a high-major program in a lot of people's minds like Gonzaga, the way they've been playing, and they're going to be joining the Pac-12 soon. And on offense, though, UConn's much better than San Diego State. They can put up a lot of points, and if San Diego State's defense cannot slow down UConn, it could be a long night for the Aztecs. But looking at this game, UConn is favored by 7 points, and they should be. And a lot of people think that the Huskies are definitely the favorite to win this game and that the Aztecs have no chance and it might be a blowout. I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be a close game. I think both teams are going to play really hard on the defensive side of the ball to want to get this win in the national championship game. San Diego State, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Who knows if they'll get back to this point of being in the national championship game. I think they're going to do everything they possibly can to get this win. But UConn, though, standing in their way, and they could win their 5th national championship and the first under Dan Hurley to reestablish UConn as a blue blood program in college basketball. And looking at UConn's roster, Adama Sanogo and Donovan Kleeman will be a problem for San Diego State. But if Matt Bradley and Lamont Butler and Darian Trammell are hitting big shots for the Aztecs, they could really help out the Aztecs get this win if they can make big shots. They did it against Florida Atlantic in the second half and got them to the victory by 1 point. And if they can do that against UConn while playing their steady defense, the Aztecs have a shot. But if UConn is able to score a lot of threes, Alex Karaban, Joey Calcaterra, Jordan Hawkins, Tristan Newton, if they're all knocking down shots and Adama Sanogo and Donovan Kleeman are dominating as well, then I think it might be a long night for the Aztecs. I do think the Aztecs are going to give it everything they got in this game, but I'm going to go with the UConn Huskies to beat the San Diego State Aztecs 75-70 in the national championship game. I think this game's going to be a lot of fun. It should be a really close game, in my opinion, between both these teams, down to the wire, but I do think UConn is the favorite at the end of the day. I think they have too much for Brian Dutcher's Aztecs team. I think that Dan Hurley's squad will find a way to get the win for UConn, and I think the 2023 national champions will be the UConn Huskies, winning their 5th national title. But it should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the national championship game tonight. Comment down below what you guys think about the 2023 national championship game, who you think is going to win, whether you think it's the Aztecs or the Huskies. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Like this video down below. Follow me on Twitter as well, and I will see you next time.